Yo, what's up guys? So welcome to my channel djkid. In today's video I wanted to talk about a project that not many people are talking about at the moment. Wanted to bring it to your radar and put it to your attention. These guys seem to be building and developing behind the scenes, and yeah, they're heavily backed by VCs. So let's get straight into it. That token that I wanted to talk to you about, or that project, is ICP. So let's load up ICP. And let's bring that up. So currently trading at $3.93, up 1.6% in the last 24 hours. Market cap at the moment is roughly $1 billion. Fully diluted market valuation is roughly $2 billion, or if you round that up anyways. And circulating supply 274 million tokens of a max supply of roughly 470 million tokens. So yeah, pretty much more than 50% of the tokens are out there, and you can see not really much. Don't know what that's doing. Not really much difference between the I guess the fully diluted and the market cap at the moment, which generally is a good sign when there's when it's not massively off. It means that the tokens, which sooner or later will be circulating in the ecosystem, hopefully wouldn't have a massive negative impact on the token price. But anyway, so if we take a look at the history of ICP, all-time high was $700, but there was some extreme sell-offs when this project was launched, and that was because it was heavily backed. A lot of huge investors got in at really cheap prices, and there was so much hype around this project, and I believe exchanges were creating synthetic ICP tokens as well. So I know FTX were creating synthetic ICP tokens, and all of that put together literally, destroyed the price, and it's pretty much been playing catch up since. So if I take a look at this on the max, so you can see initially when the token was launched, it just literally fell off a cliff because it was overvaluated at that point, and obviously with a lot of the tokens being bought in ICOs, and a lot of the tokens were airdrops and so on, a lot of investors literally sold, and the price just tanked, and it kind of just kept going lower from that point onwards. Obviously we're in a bear market now, so the price is obviously a lot lower than what it was like a year ago or so on. But yeah, you can see that the price at the moment is $3.93. So yeah, that's the, which is almost 100% off all-time high. So crazy drop there from ICP. But if we take a look at ICP anyways, and just talk about the project and kind of see what sort of hype there is around it. So this was quite good, this article that I found on HackerNoon, and literally it tells you about ICP, the history of ICP, what they're aiming at to achieve, and so on. So it's got the biggest claim to fame and biggest criticism as well, which is basically the drop in token price that I was just talking about. So the project was founded by someone called Dominic Williams. So he was a computer scientist. Initially the project started off as dfinity Foundation, and it's aiming to become the internet computer from an entire stack point of view. So not just applications, but the whole suite. Massive VC investments with ICOs of up to like $160 billion, but we'll take a look at that in just a second. And the technology itself is very complex, the way it operates. So basically the way it operates is there's a series of data centers which are spread all across the world. Each data center contains nodes, and those nodes then are formed together to create something called subnets, and then those subnets, each subnet basically forms a proof of stake blockchain, and they all kind of work together, which is quite interesting, to be honest. I mean, for me, I'm not really a developer, so I don't really know the ins and outs of I guess how the technology works, but from comparing it to other blockchains, it's very complex, the way it kind of comes across. In terms of the token itself, ICP, the token, it's used for free initial well, I guess it's used for free areas within the ICP ecosystem, and that is obviously to pay for governance. So it's used for governance. It's used to pay for canister fees. So I believe canister fees, or canister, is what the is what ICP calls their smart contracts, which are on their blockchain. So obviously use the ICP token to pay for canister fees for websites and running applications on ICP. And also it's also used to reward the network, so it's basically used for network rewards. And just on the ICP token itself, it could become deflationary, as you know, the ICP that's used to pay for canister fees are burnt in supply, so potentially could become deflationary at some point. So if we take a look at this, biggest claim to fame, Internet Computer managed to bag big investors. This was the whole point that I was talking about. So some big investors here, Andreessen, and so one of its biggest venture capitals is venture capital firms in the world. So yeah, Andreessen is one of the biggest ones there. Polychain Capital, also another huge investor for them. And yeah, like I said, there was loads and loads of hype initially when the token launched. It literally launched and instantly hit exchanges like Coinbase, Binance, and yeah, it went on every exchange when it was launched. So yeah, there was a massive sell-off. So here you can see the biggest criticism. During the decrease in price that happened around June 21, nearly 50 of the biggest holders of ICP visited exchanges to deposit over 10 million of the ICP tokens. This happened just before the fall in price of the ICP token was made public. So basically the VCs were literally kind of already set up and geared to go to sell their tokens when the project was launched. As you know, when a project is launched and there's a lot of hype around it, it's normally valuated at a very high price. And yeah, this had a lot of hype behind the whole ICP project. So when the project did eventually end up launching, it was overvaluated, and because the VCs had shifted their tokens to exchanges already, they literally sold, and the price went from whatever I said it was earlier on, so $700 or so, $700 all-time high, and just dropped instantly. So yeah, it kind of trickled down from there. But overall, the project itself, I mean, the project is pretty solid, to be honest. I mean, if you exclude all of this kind of noise behind it and what happened in the early days, the project itself seems to be building at the moment. Take a look at the ICP website. So you can see here, Internet Computer, rebuild on world computer. So basically they're looking to build a world computer blockchains. And obviously, guys, do your own research, take a look at the website, and obviously analyze the token and the project to see if it's something that you guys would, you know, want to invest in. So you can see here over 1.4 billion blocks processed, transaction rate, so 7,000 transactions per second, canister, so the smart contracts that I was just initially talking about, there's 197,000 smart contracts on ICP. And a bit about the burn rate here. So you can see here 147 ICP. I think that's ICP burnt per day. So total amount of cycles burned each second. So it just tells you about the cycles burned each second, which equate to that many ICP per day. On-chain efficiency. So the cost of storing data. You can see here Ethereum to store data. Ethereum data 79,000 for the year. 110,000 for Solana, and literally $5 GB. So yeah, $5 per year for storing ICP data, which yeah is very affordable. Well, compared to the other ones anyway. So that's pretty good. DeFi fully on chain. So they've got some applications here. So Web3 projects, reinventing the internet on the ICP blockchain. So these are some projects that are literally launching on the ICP blockchain. And obviously there's a lot more information here as well about more TXs and so on, and it's just comparing it to other blockchains there that you can see. So they've got the largest R&D and operations team, which is obviously something to be proud about, because you know, more R&D, more investment going into the project. There's obviously going to be a lot of success when you know, they're looking to build new applications or new functions to their blockchain to make it slicker and smoother. So team members, very big team. and all their patents and so on as well. So they're very transparent in some of the stuff that they're doing there, which is pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. And just a bit more about the foundation, I guess, dfinity Foundation. So you can see here just more about the team. Employees 1,600 plus, so a very large scale of employees that work within the project. Citations, employee patents, so 250 plus, and literally the team here as well. So you can see each member of the team, very big team, and yeah, they've got one of the best development teams in the world. A lot of talented individuals within the business. So yeah, you can have a look and see which who they are, and obviously do some further research if needed. And if we take a look at, so I did talk about the investment. So the investment from VCs into dfinity, 166 million, or well, call it 167 million. So there were 16 investors, and obviously there's Andreessen and Polychain and so on. So a lot of big investors that invested into the project. You can see a few here actually. So Village, Aspects, Aminu Capital, Polychain, and some others there as well. So yeah, there's a lot of backing that's gone into the project. And just as a kind of stats point of view, so if we take a look at the stats in terms of commits, so number of commits is basically the work that's been going on the project, and the commits relate to the number of times there's been updates within GitHub. So obviously GitHub is open source. You can see here this kind of translates to developers working on the project. So you can see here in the last 12 months ICP is literally reigning supreme in terms of the number of commits. So there's a lot of development going on there. 5,206 commits plus 100 contributors. Obviously you got Mina next, 4,500. Solana is there, and then some of the other networks there as well. So Bitcoin 2,300. But it kind of gives you a view of how much work has been going on with ICP at the moment versus some of the other guys. So yeah, massive amount of commits there. Even if you filter that down to the last 3 months, so let's filter this down, just give us a second to load. You can see here still ICP is leading the way, so 1,325 commits, 100 plus contributors, and then followed by Sushi, Mina, Mask, and so on. So you've got Solana there as well. But yeah, I did find these stats fairly interesting. Obviously this translates to the development activity in the blockchain. So yeah, it's pretty promising, to be fair. And I guess that kind of brings me to the end of my video. From my perspective, the way I'm playing this is I am kind of putting a little bit of money into ICP, because obviously at these prices, at $3.93 for a max supply of roughly 500 million tokens, I mean, you can't really go wrong. So I'm putting a little bit of my money into ICP just to see how it plays out. Obviously nothing that I say on this video is financial advice, so do your own research and kind of take it from there. But just from my my point of view, my opinion, putting a little bit of money in and kind of seeing how that plays out, and just kind of DCAing at the moment. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and hit me up in the comments below. Let me know what you think about ICP, if you're buying or not. And yeah, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.